Mark, as you understand Joe's views in general, because you two are well acquainted, are there subjects on which you part company?
You know, Joe is not wrong in most of the things that he's talking about. I think I approach them from a more from an operational or more pragmatic perspective that some of the things that Joe is a proponent of, I have to figure out as an operator and as a leader in an organization, how would I implement that? How would I buy that? How would I resource that? And I think that's the gap between Joe and me. And there are very few people that would disagree with Joe from a technology perspective, because he is light years smarter than I will ever be on the technology. But I have to implement solutions as an operator. And I think sometimes there is a gap between what is a great idea and what is an implementable idea.
Joe, before I ask you to respond to Mark, tell me, are there some common responses you hear when you present your views at conferences or through the media or on your blogs?
Okay, number one, most of what I have to talk about that is dealing with the vulnerabilities at the lowest level, the sensors, the actuators, drives, is new to most people. And that includes the engineers. Part of what's happened is cyber, when you use the word cyber, it's taken on a life of its own to mean networks. And so part of the issue, and this goes to where Mark was talking from, is there are two worlds that are coming together here. One is the operational world, the people responsible for pumps, valves, relays, this operational equipment. But in general, they have been kept out of cybersecurity. And even more, they often don't even believe it's their problem. Why? Because they believe cybersecurity is email and networks. And they're going, I have a pump or I have a relay. Tell me why. The flip side is, and this is the other problem, when cybersecurity is addressed, it's addressed to the CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer. The Chief Information Security Officer doesn't own that pump, that valve, that heat exchanger. He owns the networks to them. That's why I said when I first brought up, until the COO or the CEO puts both the VP of operations equal to the CISO, this is just for control systems. We can't get there from here. The technology is not there to fully secure a control system today. Therefore, what it's got to be done is with policies, procedures, training, but of both sides, the engineering side and the networking side. And that's where the gap is. How do we get, and that's where we need the management to make sure those both are in there.